we're in a unique situation in that doctors and nurses tell people what to do. You take this medicine, you'll be better. You know, I'll just thinking of what you've said, David. This is what you do. But of course, as social workers, you know, and as people, I mean, I think, you know, I'd like to say as a person, it's not about that. It's about giving people choice.
I think if I were to think about one area of work that I just so feel we need to really begin to dig down into the relationships, it's where there's abuse, and serious abuse, because at some level those people who are abusing are wanting us to talk to them about that, and they're wanting to be held accountable, but we don't do that anymore.
I think on a serious point, it does show how, you know, what we're doing here today is in some ways disruptive and it is operating outside of the boxes and the straight lines that have been talked about already.
Clarissa and I think a couple of others were asked to go to various other councils to talk to them about our experiences, by using our experiences to encourage others, parenting groups, social workers, to take on the baton for Family Group Conference and advocate it.
When I went to the meeting, talked to Tim, and he obviously told me what it was about. There was a big paper of everything, like a big booklet of everything that they've done and stuff like that. And I really felt like this is something I actually want to be a part of, to be honest with you.
I was wanting to know how parents were involved, you know, when they were sitting in meetings, what were they sharing, and, you know, how was that having an impact on the system in some way? And in my mind, it was that, you know, they were sitting at a table and they were sharing their view with someone who, you know, would go and make a decision somewhere, and that would be different in some way because of what the parents said. But then when I was talking to birth parents as part of, you know, the research, they were like, you know, that's not it at all, Jerry. You know, what it is I'm sitting next to a person and we're having conversations and they're beginning to see me as a person, and we're talking and we're building a relationship, and they're asking about my family and they start to care about me, and we see each other and we work alongside each other. So this idea that, you know, even beyond direct social work practice, how those relationships are happening in the system, they're saying that's how we're making the change, because they're starting to understand who we are in a much different way.
I think I wanted to pay tribute to Delcia and Carly and Sandra and Faye and Carmen, because you know, you've been coming for what, 7 years? You know, in this like sped up world of services and social work and King's Cross and all the rest of it, like, you know what I mean, where we come in and out of jobs and move up and down and around. You've been there for 7 years, coming to that family advisory board, and it's been really fun.
So everyone's very respectful and very nice to treat me like a person. It's not a number, it's not a case. So I may not feel the love at the beginning, but gradually I've been through work with different social workers. I've been through some bad experience, and then I see some change. Some good one comes in, and they did help a lot, but not very obviously. But in the end, I come out with the situation is all from their hard work.
You can show them a path, but when they come of age, they choose their own path. My daughter and my son were brought up the same. My daughter chose a career path. My son chose drugs and drink and violence. But that's not my fault. But I took the children on, and I discovered that there's no help. So we started a little online group, 10 of us. That little online group has now got 2,000 members.
You take this outside to the system and see what reaction you're going to get. Take this sort of energy, or as my new word is, shizzle, the shizzle of energy, and take it out there and see the response you're going to get, because the system's resistant to this sort of stuff. Well, obviously the system is made up of all of us as constituent parts, isn't it? So if we start to think and flow differently, we can move and make movement within. And in fact, I was going to show our friend something about a little place called Warsaw, where actually on the front page of the new Responding to Young People of Warsaw is Love is to Act is actually on the front page and it's part of the policy position.